Well, morning everyone. This is, I guess you'd call it a part 2 really, of the ongoing story of my 99 ZZ-R600. It's a lovely day today. It's the heading towards the end of July. And as many of you know, we've had a really warm summer down here so far in the south of England. We're just out in the New Forest, near Janesmore Pond, if anyone knows the area. It's an old World War II airfield. I'll put some drone footage at the start of the video, so you've probably already seen that of just about where we are. So I've now covered a good few miles on this ZZ-R the last few months actually. It's now showing just under 9,000 miles. As you'd expect in that mileage, absolutely no issues at all. Other than the cost of fuel, which is well documented at the moment, so I just put £30 in this. And that was from the early stages of the reserve fuel tank up until the very brim of super unleaded. I remember back in the day when I first started riding things like this, you'd put a tenner in, that would be a lot of money, but now there we go, £30 worth. So how's she been doing the last, well, I suppose 3-4 months into the last one? Well, I haven't used it too much, to be honest. I've been using my big cross tourer a lot. I pulled this one out earlier on this morning, about 8:30, 9 o'clock I think it was. Left it in the sun for an hour on the drive just to warm up a little bit. I know it sounds a bit of an old superstition, but I've always found that works really well. And she fired right up, first press on the button, so not completely unexpected really. As you can see, it's still in good condition. I haven't even cleaned it for maybe a couple of months or so now really. So let's just see how we're getting on with it. These tyres, which are 021s if I think right. Yeah, they're 021s on them. Apologies, I've got so many bikes I can't remember the exact tyres on this one. So it's about 23-24 degrees today at the moment. And these are a sports touring tyre and it's a sports touring bike, so as expected they're performing really well. I haven't been pushing it too hard today because it's more of a cruise day today really, rather than a track day or anything like that. So one thing I did find, just updating the last one, is that with one half of the ram air taken off, once the weather warmed up a little bit, we did start to experience a few problems, and the throttle became very jerky, particularly at motorway speeds. It almost felt like it was choking. Ironically, it almost felt like it was carb icing, is the best way I can describe it even. So I popped the second hose back on, which involves removing the whole front end of the bike, well, the whole fairing, not the suspension, but the whole fairing has to come off. And it's not as big a job as it sounds actually. It is a very well designed piece of kit, if not slightly fiddly to get off. And with the fairing off, that second hose popped in just a couple of minutes work really, and that seems to have resolved any running issues at all. It's running absolutely perfectly. These older carb fed bikes, I've heard and read so much stuff about they don't like modern fuels and they're a nightmare if you leave them, and all I can say from my experience of the last, well, 25 years of riding bikes, as long as you understand it's a carb fed bike and do things slightly differently to injection, so if you're going to leave the bike a long time, one trick I do is turn the fuel tap off if you've got a manual tap. Just a few hundred metres from home, drain the carbs down a bit. If you're going to leave it for a long time, say a couple of months, just drain the carbs right out using the float bolt screws. And put the best on it as you can get in there, premium ideally. And you'll experience fairly minimal issues. These have got a reputation for being a bit tricky on the carbs, and all I can say is I balance it up once in a while, use quality fuels. I really don't get any issues with this one. These apparently do have a snatchy transmission, particularly a snatchy push drive at the back. I think that's partially down to items such as slack chain. Very early ones had a damper put on the reverse of the rear sprocket, if I remember right. I haven't changed the sprocket on this one, so I don't know if it's got it on there at all, but it's more of an issue with adjustment issues than anything else. Certainly much smoother than my cross tourer. She was well aware that was a bit of a jerky old piece, that one. So it's going to be a nice short video, this one, because there's not really too much to say really. It's been performing absolutely flawlessly, other than that rear shock, which when funds allow I will swap it out for another one. Almost anything's better than the one that's in there. Now the weather's warm, you can start to push on a little bit. It really does get yourself a little bit tangled up sometimes, so that's the only real change I want to make to this one. Other than that, she's a lovely bike. So not the most exciting of videos this one, guys, just a bit of an update really. See how we're getting on with the old ZZ-R. And thankfully there's not really too much to say. Just riding really well. Someone else enjoying the sun. Let's see what they've got over there, shall we? It's the Honda CB1000. Nice those. Anyway, so there you go, a little bit of drone footage for you just to show where we are. Quick update the old ZZ-R. Performing flawlessly. If you've got any questions about these guys, fire them across to me. I'll see if I can answer them as best I can for you. Most of the technical stuff and bits and bobs about this bike I covered in the first video really. So just a nice short one just to say, big tick in the books. The old ZZ-R's charging along quite nicely, and if you are thinking about getting into bikes, particularly now it's the warmer weather, please do not discount these older bikes. They are a really good option for next to no money. See if you can pick yourself one up. There's loads of them around. Kawasaki made them for about 3 billion years. And there is a lot of them around, from nice tidy ones like this to absolute death traps. So if you're not too technically minded, take someone with you that knows their bikes. Have a good look around them, but they're definitely worth considering. Alright guys, I'll end it there. Stay safe, and I'll speak to you again soon. Had a race checking out. Thank you.